Hey everybody, I'm Becky Adams. Thank you for stopping by today. Today I have a project using the Hip Kit June 2021 kits. So I'm using a lot of pattern papers, a little bit of cardstock, and a few cut files for Cut File Tuesday. And our challenge was to use a cut file and mix the cut file with some punches. So we're going to be doing that here in just a minute, but I wanted to get started with the title at the bottom of my page. And I'll explain why I'm starting at the bottom as we go along. But as you can see, I've done a couple of things to get started on this project. I did my stitching off camera, and then I also backed the cut file, the title cut file, off camera. I backed this cut file with pattern papers from Pink Fresh Studio and some Hip Kit exclusive pattern papers. And I want this to go right along the bottom of my layout. So I'm actually just going to eyeball this one, and as I mentioned, I backed the cut file and then I put some foam adhesive on the back. And the reason I used foam adhesive is so that it pops off the page a little bit. Because I cut it out of white cardstock, it could blend in a lot more if I didn't put that foam adhesive there. But the Cuteness Overload cut file is the freebie cut file for this month. So even if you're not a subscriber, you can still use this cut file and download it for free. So the other cut files that I will be using here in a minute are subscriber cut files. So if you're a subscriber, you'll have access to those ones. So I'm just using my T-square ruler here to line up my journaling strips. And I printed my journaling strips. Usually I print my journaling strips just on plain printer paper, but this time I really wanted them to kind of seamlessly blend into the background. So I actually used a scrap of this exact same cardstock, and that's what I printed my journaling strips on. I'm starting at the bottom because I've got a central design here, and it's going to be a pretty tight fit. So I want to make sure that I have room for the most important parts of my page. Okay, so now that I have my journaling in place, I'm gonna add my photo next. And initially, when I was kind of thinking through how I wanted this layout to come together, I thought that I wanted a mix of pattern papers to frame these photos. And after I got thinking about it, and I even started cutting the papers, it was just it was too busy. So I went back and matted my photos with a thicker mat of this mint cardstock. And by matting the photo with this mint cardstock, it's going to make the photo stand out even better off of what's going to turn out to be kind of a busy page. Okay, so now that I have my title and journaling and photos in place, and my photos nicely matted on a piece of cardstock so that they stand out, now it's time to bring in some embellishments. So what I have done is I have punched out a few different circles, and I've also cut out some flowers. These flowers come from the Just Perfect cut file, and this is a subscriber cut file. So if you are a subscriber to the Hip Kit Club, then you will find this cut file under the June 2021 tab. So I have these circles that I punched out, and then I cut the cut files just out of white cardstock. I wanted to kind of create a row of circles here above the photo. So I'm thinking something similar to this. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of each of these circles and kind of tuck them into place. And on these ones that have a cut file on them, I also I stitched around the edge with my sewing machine and white thread. And I'm going to adhere these cut files with a pop dot, and I'll show you how I'm going to cover that up in just a minute. But I want some dimension in between the cut file and the pattern paper. Let's see, I'm going to scoot it over. There we go. So we'll do the same thing here. Just put a pop dot and then put the cut file in the center. So just add a little bit of adhesive. And put this one right in place. And I'm actually going to pull the cut file up on top of my photo mat just for a little bit of variation. It can totally go underneath as well. Not a big deal. So I'll just do the same, little bit of adhesive. I'm only adding adhesive in the middle, first of all, because it'll hold it perfectly. And second of all, then I'm still able to tuck things in and around the circles if I want to, as I'm embellishing the page. So last one. I believe that these circles, so there's, I think this one's a 3-inch, this one is an 1 3/4. That one is about 2.5, maybe, I don't remember for sure. But you can also cut these shapes out with your die cutting machine or manual dies, a circle cutter. There are lots and lots of ways to get lots of sizes of circles, and they're a really fun and easy shape to play with. I forgot here, I wanted to add just a little pop of this darker color at the edge of my photos. So I'm just going to go back and tuck that in. This is a Pocket Life card, a card from the Pocket Life kit that I just trimmed down into little strips. We'll pull that up just a little bit and tuck it in that way. And I'm going to bump that circle up. There we go. So that there's a little bit of space in between those two blue elements. Okay, so now I have some embellishments that I want to add on top of these die cuts. And I've got just these little chipboard pieces that came, I believe they're in the Pocket Life kit. But I'm just going to go ahead, they've already got adhesive on them, and I'm just going to remove the backing and put those in place. And that is what will cover up that pop dot. I'll just put one of these chipboard shapes, actually I'm going to move that one over here, in the middle of each of the circles. And I was just careful to, you know, not put the purple butterfly on top of the purple circle so it stood out a little bit. And then to make these flowers stand out even more, you can just slightly bend them up without creasing them. Anyway, I have this one bow that I made, that I wanted to use, and I think this one came in the embellishment kit. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive. I did put the bow together with liquid adhesive ahead of time so that it would be dry for the video. We'll put that in place. Then I have this little puffy sticker. It just says smile. And I thought that would be really cute to go on this page where they've got their silly faces, their silly face picture. And then to finish things off, I'm just going to add some enamel dots. So we'll put some pink ones over here. Some of these lighter, kind of the mint color over there. And then let's do these lavender ones right there, kind of in the middle. And with that, I'm going to call this one finished. So thank you so much for stopping by. Please make sure you hop over to the Hip Kit website and check out the June 2021 kits. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon.